I would say this was the first song that I recorded that I felt like I truly love this song, and it felt like
We gotta
something
start
higher than
again.
me.
What are we? What are
I think
we?
probably the most relevant information to know about me is that I was raised Sufi, and probably the most famous Sufi that people know is Rumi, the 13th century poet, and beautiful poetry around God as the beloved, and just talking about God and the love of God in this really sort of very beautiful, sensual way. That I think that's one of the reasons why his poetry has lasted and is still like widely used as inspiration around the world. So that's sort of the tradition that I come from, this like very Sufi, very mystical tradition. So there are a lot of sayings and like sort of the feeling of the song I was referencing in there. And I think that I didn't really intend to even write this song, or I didn't intend for this song to be, oh, this is going to be the Sufi song. The Sufi part of this is that we're all, in a way, in this performance. We are wearing these masks, and these masks are a way for us to interact with each other, but they're not necessarily telling the whole truth. So, what does it look like to take off the mask and tell the whole truth?
Fight masquerading as a conversation. Enemies pretending to be friends. We're lovers, claiming to be compañeros. Does it end? And where did it begin?
For me, it was about spiritual relationships as well. What does it mean to have a spiritual relationship? And what are we calling this spiritual relationship versus what the spiritual relationship is? And first, it could be like a relationship with the universe, with God, with ancestors, whatever it is that a spiritual relationship means to you. And this is all about the mask that we wear and what we think, what we're doing, and this play of life that we're playing out. Just this idea that we are a broader consciousness and that there are lives that we have lived before. Some people believe in reincarnation, some people don't. But that there's this wider knowing. And there's a Sufi saying that goes, be in this world as a traveler. And I think about that a lot. It's like thinking about what it means to not be not be attached. So what does it mean to not be attached to outcomes and not be attached to things that don't matter?
We are lost souls, acting like we're homo sapiens, digging, climbing, searching for the bends. We have settled in, pretending that we're here forever, and just like that, we gotta start again. We gotta start again.
So that's the idea of ode to like spirituality, to the fact that we're a traveler on this earth, that we get so invested in what's happening, and really it's like almost like we're cycling through it. And so the importance of like being present and having it, for me, it was like having some sense of appreciation and wonder, but also the understanding that you are a traveler. And then the chorus, what are we? That was a bigger, I think it was, part of it was for anybody who is in relationship and they're trying to sort of define it, any kind of relationship. It could be romantic, it could be friendship, it could be whatever. But also this broader, like, what are we? Like, what are we doing here? What are we as spiritual beings? Are we this? What parts of us are connected to each other? How are we connected? It really was an existential question.
What are we? What are
what are we? Like, what are we doing here? What are we? And who are we? Who are we? Why are we here? Who are we? And that could be in relation to other things or just, it felt like very existential and it felt heart
We
wrenching.
have a bright masquerading as our intuition. Energies pretending not to blend. Fierce mothers telling me that I don't know you. For it to end, all you gotta do is dance. Just
So
dance.
that was a reference to this idea that how much fear has a hold. I remember Elizabeth Gilbert saying that perfectionism is fear in high heels. And I was just thinking about how fear takes on all of these different forms, and that once you recognize that it is fear, then it allows you to move forward in a centered way, but that fear is everywhere. And so this idea of fear, fright masquerading as intuition, you're like, I'm not doing this thing because it's my intuition, but is it really? It's about really tapping in and understanding the difference between intuition and fear. And like fierce mothers, and then for it to end, all you have to do is dance. For me, creativity is the antidote. When I was, living this kind of like formal life of lawyer, human rights, and all of this stuff, um, I felt like I was not necessarily connected to myself. And then when I started dancing again, dancing was my entryway. For some people, it's starting to sing again or whatever. But that dancing unlocked so much spiritually for me. It helped me shake off a lot of fear. Dancing also was the gateway for songwriting and for like the courage to decide to do something different or that seems kind of like nuts. Um, so that's what that part of that means about like kind of overcoming fear, and using dance to help you do that, using the body to help you do that.
We are revelers, pretending that we cannot hear this call. We've forgotten, acting like the space ain't painted. Sorrow cloaked and gotta get it done. We have hidden it, pretending we're not here together. Then just like that, I see your face again. I see your face again.
When I was doing the work that I was doing, which was amazing work with amazing people, there was I knew something was missing, and I knew that there was a calling, and I was keeping myself busy, and that revelers trying to do things to keep myself busy so that I wouldn't hear it. And when I allowed myself to be silent, I did hear it, and that really impacted me. So I'm just saying that this is what happened to me, and this is what I feel a lot of people experience: sorrow cloaked and gotta get it done. A lot of us are keeping ourselves busy. Got meetings, got this to do, got to do this. It's like all of this, like, got to get it done is covering the sorrow that we feel around not listening to that call. The whole idea about hiding it and pretending that we're not here together. The here together part is about the fact that we're all connected and that we all have access to that same higher intuition, that universal wisdom. Some people call it God, some people call it the universe, some people call it ancestors, they call it whatever, but it's that we all have access to that, and we forget that we're all here together. And just like that, I see your face again in a Sufi tradition or in Muslim tradition in general. There is this idea about seeing the face of God. Like when you die, you get like one of the rewards of like, that process of like, is to be able to see the face of God, which is the most beautiful face. And face, I think, is a metaphor. I don't know, but it feels like it is. And so it's like a thing to kind of aim for. And it's like we have hidden it. We're pretending we're not here together. So we toiling, and then it's over. And it's like, just like that, I see your face again. So it could be that, which was the intention, but also it could be, you know, being away from a beloved one and then you see them again, or you are in conflict with someone and so you can't see them. And then that veil is lifted and you see their face and you see them, you really see them.
For too long, from carnival to Mardi Gras, just move your hips and take it off.
I'm in New Orleans right now, even though I don't live here anymore. I grew up here. It so much informs my life and how I move, the culture, the people, the music. And my best friend is from Trinidad, so I wanted to have a homage to that connection that like they call New Orleans the extended Caribbean. And I thought about how our cultures are similar and how there's carnival and then there's Mardi Gras. So I put that in a bridge. This idea that the song is about masquerade. We're all wearing masks. And in carnival itself, in our traditions, being in a mask is actually a part of the culture. It's like almost an acknowledgement of what we're doing. And then this idea that move your hips and take it off. That the antidote is connection to body, connection to self, it's connection to others, it's moving, it's creativity. So yeah, generally speaking, my songwriting process is that some kind of movement is happening. I'm mostly walking, riding in a car, traveling on a plane, any kind of movement is just like stuff comes to me. So yeah, I hope you like Masquerade. I absolutely adore it. And what I've decided in my songwriting process in general is that it cannot matter to me whether other people like it. All I have to do is like know that it has come from my soul and I like it, and then put it out there and see if there are other people who like it. And if they don't, that's okay too. And it has taken me a long time to get there. It has taken me lots of coaching and lots of confidence issues around, am I even a songwriter? Like what if the producer knows better than me? Like, they have more experience, and just really centering and trusting myself and being like, no, like I know what it's supposed to sound like because it's coming through me. And I guess that would be my advice if anybody wants it, like around this process of doing something that's so totally new. It's like you have an intuition, and if you feel like this is a calling for you, then it is. And trust yourself, even when people are trying to push you to do something that doesn't feel right. You know what it feels right. What feels right has a vibration that feels really good, and what feels wrong also has a vibration that feels really bad. So I'm happy with the song. I'm proud of the song, and I hope you like it. Okay, ciao.